welcome, welcome, welcome. I see a few of you guys in the chat. Aisha has already started chatting about it. She's like, I can't wait for this conversation. But oh, girl.
Oh my goodness, another who done it.
I know, but I'm here for it. I figured with everybody pissed off with Gary, I said, you know what, that man. I didn't know Cheeto. I'm assuming he's dead, right? I mean, he got a knife in the heart, so I don't think he's headed to the hospital or anything, like, to recover from this. But I didn't know
Oh,
if.
that's so.
Go ahead.
That makes me so sad.
Girl, listen. I didn't know. I'm wondering if Cheeto is actually leaving. He's been there since day one.
But he is so nice to look at. But I understand this just happens on these shows.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we got a lot to talk about. First of all, what would you grade this season finale?
I'm gonna give it a C+.
Really?
Yeah. It just seems like a lot of people were kind of sharing the same rhetoric. Mm-hmm. I thought there would be more that would happen after his wedding. Mm-hmm. But, I guess I'm okay with it. And I don't know, I'm curious to see what's going to happen next season, but I'm very disappointed that Karen is still pregnant.
Oh my God. Tell me about it. Hey, Crystal. Hey, kinda not Josh. He said, is that a he or she? Kinda not Josh. Matt thinking that Madam killed Gary.
To be honest, I'm thinking Miss Marie might have her hand in all of this.
Me too, because I'm thinking Miss Marie, she only got a small slither of her saying, let me see what I can do. And we didn't see anything else, but we had Danny saying what she was saying. And then we had Zach saying that. And then, of course, Fatima. And we had Jordan. I mean, everybody was coming for his neck.
Yep. And but a part of me thinks something that Miss Marie got her hand in something. The fact that she even wanted to help Andy out to begin with, mm-hmm. and plus she has the money to pay off like a hitman and everything. I don't know. I'm thinking it's her.
Okay. Well, let me do a formal introduction. It's a few people in the chat, and thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button because we're going to unpack this season finale of Sistas. Let's talk Sistas with T and Bree. Episode 22, which is the end of season 7. And I was wondering how they were going to do that. But like I said, as the episode progressed, I'm like, they finna do a murder mystery. Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Andy, to be quite honest with you. I was not expecting to be poor Gary. I can't want to say poor Gary, only because he is so nice to look at, but still.
Yeah, Aisha said this is the longest pregnancy. I mean, this girl, I think she's been pregnant for about 4 seasons.
Is she even in her 3rd trimester yet?
You would think. I mean, she spent the first 2 seasons not even showing. And then we finally got a baby bump the end of season 6 going into season 7.
So she's not even. Oh my goodness. Well, let's hope that she gives birth next season.
I guess, girl. I'm so sick and tired of Karen being pregnant. I'm like. And the thing is.
I'm pretty sure
And the thing is that Ebony Obsidian, she is such a petite, tiny woman. And they're trying to fit that baby bump thing up under there. And it just doesn't look. It doesn't fit her body because she's so petite.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm pretty sure she's tired of being pregnant on the show too.
I bet she is. Aisha says she can't stand Gary. That's why they call him Scary Gary.
Well, nobody has to be scared no more.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the beginning. So at the beginning of the episode, we had the scene between Sabrina and what's her guy name again?
Rome.
The guy,
Not Rome.
her, what is that guy?
Rich. Sorry.
Rich. Is that Rich? Yeah, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rich came in there and he was like, look, I ain't finna, I done made up my mind and I want to be the daddy, your baby daddy. And this other guy can go kick rocks. Now, at first, I was giving Sabrina the side eye because, I mean, most women, especially if you're in a relationship, you had to go through all of this. And this other guy just show up, want to donate. Your man come up in there and be like, look, no. We finna do this. I don't know what I was thinking. I want to be the father of your children. The business is going well. We got a decent relationship. Why don't we just do the whole package? What did you think about that? Do you think that she should have been feeling some kind of way about him coming in there?
I honestly thought they were going to break up. I was hoping she would move on with the new guy. But I mean, if Rich came to his senses and he says that, you know what, I don't want to play any games anymore. I see you as the mother of my child. I see you as my wife. You know, and I got to give it to him. So if he had to, stop the process, he picked the right time to do it. Because if he waited a second later, it'd be a different conversation. But I've been giving Sabrina the side eye throughout the whole season because I felt like she was trying to guilt trip this man. And I don't know. I think between her and Tony, maybe that decision was kind of wearing him down. He was like, okay, maybe I need to step it up and try to be with her.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they shouldn't have never got together in the first place if, in fact, he truly didn't want kids and she truly wanted kids. We've talked about that. But for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe she thought he'd change his mind, which obviously in this episode he did with the direction Tyler want to take this, which tells me that this guy in the blue suit, Mr. D, I can't remember his name, but I'm assuming that he's done for. This is the end of the season. They probably ask him not to come back if they're going to pursue building a family together. But
I'll take him.
You so silly. Yeah, that ain't a bad looking brother. He kinda nice.
Not at all. I was like, oof. But do you think it's genuine on his part, or you think he was just trying to prevent her from going along with that process, and maybe he's still trying to come to terms with maybe he wants to be a father or not?
I think he actually, like he said, he had two choices: either to break up or build a family with the woman that I love. And it makes sense. If he truly loves this woman, he wanted to build a business, then he wanted to find somebody, and then eventually have a family, which to me, they pivoted the script because he was adamant about not having children, period. But somewhere in the last couple episodes or so, Tyler decided to say, hey, and probably because he knew what the direction it was going to go, he probably figured we're going to do a whole new revamp for season 8. We're going to get rid of this guy. So they had to pivot him to say, you know what? Yeah, let's have him want kids. And then he decided to change his mind. So I think honestly, they might as well, if they both truly love each other and they see a future with each other, I don't see why not.
Of course. No, absolutely. And all the best to them. I don't know how that works. The guy who plays Rich, he's on Brothers, right?
He on Bruh. Yeah, he's on Bruh.
Oh, Bruh.
But I'm wondering,
so how does that work?
Well, the same thing with Zatima, because Zach and Fatima on Zatima, and it's like two separate storylines going on over there. So then what's happening on Sistas?
That's a good point.
Yeah, because somebody was telling, I haven't had a chance to watch Zatima, but they were saying that she's pregnant over there. Fatima is. So, and of course on Sistas, She out there being Madam's assistant.
Mhm.
So
So yeah, this is a mess, but at least this kind of wraps everything up with those two. So I'm happy for them. So I'm hoping she follows the correct path. Get married, have a baby, and do it quick.
well, that's the thing.
Or he changes his mind.
They didn't even bring up marriage. They just talked about having kids together. So I'm wondering, is Tyler going to even go down that road with these two? Are they just gonna? She gonna come back season 8 pregnant?
Oh, that's a good point. And then what happens to her egg?
Well, she
that's going to be a very
technically
interesting story.
she's gonna save thousands of dollars because all she got to do is sleep with him now. You don't have to go through. He doesn't even have to do IVF with her. They can just sleep together.
Well, yeah, like they've been doing. So, I mean,
Right.
if he wants to be the father of that baby and they want to go that direction, I mean, good for them. I'm happy for him. Poor Mr. D.
Yeah, I know. He's out of there. It seems.
And I'll still take him.
Girl, you say I used to take him. And I even like the moment on the lower left hand side of the screen where the two of them had their bonding moment. I would like to see them become a solid couple. I really would.
Me too. They're actually beautiful together.
Yeah, Aisha, she's saying it's possible. No marriage was, there was no marriage talk. So I'm thinking they probably she gonna come back season 8 with a belly bump. All right. The next thing we need to talk about is that Miss Marie. She was giving Hayden the business. Hayden didn't know what to do until Andy came up in there, showed that folder where this guy, she gonna be able to walk away with everything that she had because of whatever she found. What do you think she found? Was it some incriminating pictures or something of her ex?
It's probably more than that. It could be like embezzlement. It could be anything that's going to be like incriminating, that's going to put him behind bars. That would be a way for a man to not want to pursue going after her.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the thing is, Miss Marie was so happy that she was able to, close that case and everything. She went and talked to the partners, and now Miss Andy is a partner.
Good for her. I don't think she's the smartest, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but she's partner now, only in Tyler Perry's world.
Well, I think her personal life, because that theme song is about how their personal life is trash. I mean, with regards to dating, but business-wise, I'm assuming she's a top-notch attorney, but when it comes to making decisions in her personal life, it's just not there. So, I don't know. Miss Andy, it was nice. She had a big old smile on her face because she beat Hayden, Hayden was pissed.
He tried to go after Miss Marie.
I know. And tried to say, well, what if I put you on blast? She was like, I'll put myself on blast before you do. Don't play with me.
Right. oh my goodness. I was surprised that Andy shared any details with Miss Marie about what was going on. And the fact that Miss Marie was saying, like, we're so much alike. I'm like, oh, I hope not. And she's like, I got your back. Don't worry about it. Let Miss Marie handle it. And I'm like, she sounded extremely confident with those words. I'm like, what can she do?
Well, I guess she's a billionaire, so maybe she got a lot of connects.
That is true. She might know Madam.
Right, exactly. But in my opinion, like you said, I think she might have had something to do with what happened with Gary.
I do too. So there's the fact that she is very confident in saying that she's going to be able to help and protect Andy. That was a huge indicator for me. It seems like Andy will find like somebody to hide behind.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed relieved and everything. She was like, "Oh, somebody saved me." I'm like, "Girl, you didn't put yourself deep into this hole. You got all these people involved and your mess."
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a hot mess at that too. But
Yeah.
hey, she got Fatima in her corner, and she had Miss Marie in her corner. So I don't think Fatima or Madam had anything to do with it because she couldn't get in touch with Madam. So at Fatima's over at Zach's house, first of all, Zach was upset about the fact that Gary's security guy put hands on her, and he was over there talking about he was finna go get Gary until she stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, let me call Madam, but she couldn't get Madam on the phone. So I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Miss Marie got in touch with Madam or something. Unless that's how that's gonna go. I'm curious to find out who killed Gary.
You know what I was thinking at first? Something was telling me, like, why is Miss Marie getting so close with Andy? Like, why was she working so closely with her? I thought Miss Marie was going to be related to Gary and that they were trying to get more information out of Andy or something. I was not expecting the ending that I got where she reached out to Miss Marie for some help.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, Zach was upset. He was about to go there and lay hands on Gary. That was crazy. But yeah, I mean, he got too much to lose, and I'm glad Fatima talked him down. Like, look, you can't just go over there all emotional. Plus, Zach has a
Mm-hmm.
record.
That is true. And he just has a little bit more, people depending on him now. And also he has a little bit of money in his bank account too. And he can lose that all.
Yeah, the kids, the boy and the twins and all of that stuff. So she was like, hold on, wait a minute. You need to calm yourself down, take a Zen moment, and we got to figure this out. Because he was about to get himself in a whole lot of trouble.
And so was Fatima too.
Yeah, well, she was trying to stop him. Remember?
And she was like, "We gotta do this my way." I'm like, "Girl."
Yeah, no telling what Fatima do, because she ain't scared of Gary. Um, let's talk about Rich. Was he acting kind of weird to you? Not Rich, Tony.
Yeah, it was. I
don't think Tony coming
do you
back.
think that he? No, I think he's gonna go back to his ex-wife. It was just the way he came in and the way that he was just talking to Danny. There was a disconnect in comparison to other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he says that he's all in, but I think maybe his ex-wife was starting to kind of get to him a little bit.
Yeah, well, he come up in there talking about, I just want to let you know, I didn't set boundaries. She's gone. She's been stationed off in France, and she's taking the kids with her. And, I'm going to be gone for a few days, but I'll be back because I got to help them pack. But then right before he walked out of Danny's house, he was looking around at the house like this was the last time he was going to see it. Did you notice that?
I did. And I was like, okay, maybe he just doesn't know how to say goodbye to her. But it felt like he was trying to dip off. But why would he need to, help them unpack and get settled over in Paris? That's my thing. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the mother was capable of doing that too. Same way he was capable of taking care of those kids while she was deployed.
Now, Aisha said that she think he went to the vacation with them. but she's over there for work, I think, and well, because she's deployed. But there's a part of me looking at that whole thing, because here's the thing, Danny, he knows Danny is dangerous when angry. I think he tried to figure, instead of saying, this is it, I'm going back to my ex-wife, and me and the kids, we taking off and going on the other side of the planet. He played this whole game, putting an apology in there. And I could be wrong. Maybe he'll be back in season 8. But I don't know about that. The way he was looking before he left, he looked around at her apartment as if to say, this will be the last time I'll see this.
Yeah, and he gave her those tulips. It's just the whole delivery. There was a huge disconnect. So I don't think he's coming back next season.
That suck. Because I honestly, after the string of bad relationships that Danny has had, and then here's this guy comes along, she really likes him. He's the reason why she signed up for therapy, because he told her, I'm in a therapist, why don't you go get some therapy? And you should do that on your own anyway, if you feel that you need some help. But she really, really, really liked this guy, and he seemed like he was really into her. And it's going to be unfortunate if he don't come back.
Do you think that maybe with him talking to his own therapist, it kind of puts some things in perspective for him? So maybe he might go to Paris and try to patch things up with her?
I don't know. You talking about patch up things with the wife?
Yeah.
I honestly believe that's exactly what's happened. They got 2 kids together. A part of him obviously still had a soft spot for her, because that's why he was fussing at Danny when that little girl shouldn't have been going through her stuff. And I know kids mess with people's stuff, but at the same time, Danny has children over her house. Maybe she should have put her stuff up. But he really went hard on Danny about some of this stuff. And then the pictures coming to his phone last week or the week before, and all of this stuff. And he was just trying to accuse her of being insecure and all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, I have an apology. But you know what? I'm going to be going for about 4 or 5 days and let them get settled, and I'll be back. Yeah, I don't know about that. I honestly believe that this guy was like, you know what, this is going to be too much of a hassle. These kids are young. Their mama going to be around for the foreseeable future. I don't know how we going to co-parent, and probably part of him still got feelings for his ex-wife.
That is very true, because we don't know how he would feel about those pictures, because he could have not said anything to Danny if Danny didn't go through his phone about those pictures too.
Yep. So I don't know. I think Tony is a goner.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, that sucks. And Danny gonna be hotter than fish grease. She'll probably come back talking about Tony that never came back. Because, that's the vibes that it's given. I could be wrong.
At least it brings in, new characters, new love interests for her. And plus, we never thought that this situation with her and Tony was going to be, at least for me, I didn't think it would be good long term, because she likes to have, her lifestyle as it is, and he has to have things routine and very, strict, especially because he has kids. So it seems like she was struggling trying to adjust to his lifestyle.
I totally agree with you, because Danny is pretty much a bachelorette per se. In so many terms, she got an apartment, she don't have any kids, she can pretty much be free to do what she want, and she walked into a ready-made family. Remember how we were saying that Danny and Rich in the beginning, probably because he didn't want kids at the time, and she would have been okay with that. Whereas Tony and Sabrina probably would have been a better fit because she wanted not only her own kids, but she probably would have wanted to, deal with Tony's kids, but
Mm-hmm.
it was the opposite. So, like you say, Danny was definitely struggling with dealing with Tony, the kids, and the ex-wife, because the ex-wife wasn't going nowhere. She was all up in the face, showing up at Danny's house, all types of stuff. That's a headache.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I feel like she handled it okay, but I don't think that she wanted to play stepmother either. It didn't hurt. It seems like each episode she had like some
Mm-hmm.
sort of remark about the kids. I'm like, so she's not really warming up to the idea. And
Nope.
I think Tony sensed that too.
Oh, of course. Hey, Robin K, welcome in, welcome in. She said, "Hey, ladies."
Hey,
Um,
Robin.
yeah, I don't. I think it was gonna take some time because them kids are gonna get older. They're young now, and they. That's a hard situation to navigate. It really is. When a person that don't have kids come into a situation, male or female, come into a situation and try to navigate that. Can it be done? Of course, there are people that do it, but it's not easy. And especially when you got an ex that is trying to undermine your relationship, which his wife definitely was trying, his ex-wife. And then at some points, Tony was calling her his wife. Remember? And Danny had to correct
Yeah.
him and say, "You mean your ex?"
Yeah, old habits just die hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something tells me, especially they're in the city of love too. Oh Lord. Um, Bye, Tony.
Yeah, bye, Tony. I mean, if he want to
uh,
fix that, but the thing is, he shouldn't have got involved in this relationship with Danny. Now, granted, when they did get involved, he was a single father. The wife was deployed. She had just came back later in the season. So, but still, you still had feelings for her, or what the deal is, which we'll probably get more context when season 8 starts back up, and Danny will be like, "Well, Tony, he left, he decided to stay with his wife," or whatever, it could be.
which I mean, if that's what he wants to do, then that's fine too, because that'd be good for the kids. But I feel like single parents should date single parents because they understand that dynamic a little bit more. Whereas Danny coming into the situation, she doesn't even know how she feels about it for herself,
Right.
and before she can even welcome the idea for this whole other person.
I agree. All right, we got to talk about Hayden and Tamara. Woo wee. Now, what was interesting is that they got the argument. He come home talking about, at least because he got pissed off. He didn't make partner, so that was dark number one. And when he got home, he found out that Tamara had been sleeping with Gary. But, Hayden, you have been eating and sleeping with Miss Marie. So I don't understand why you want to get in Tamara's throat when you put a whole gray hair in her throat because of where your mouth been.
Now, in Hayden's defense, Tamara was sleeping with Gary long before he got with Miss Marie. So when she was doing that crying, I'm like them fake tears, them crocodile tears. Like, you are not sad. You were happy that you did it. And then she had the nerve to say, like, "Oh, I was doing it for you, trying to get money for you. So you're a whole prostitute now?"
Well, that's what she was when she got hired. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when you
That's
go,
all she knows.
yeah, from season 6, she was in that life. And Fatima hired her through Madam to take down Hayden. Well, they fell for each other, which is how they got into this relationship to start off with. And then as season 7 continued, that's how we have the rest of this, where Gary gets involved with her, and then later on he gets involved with Marie, thinking he was going to sleep his way into becoming a partner. And a wrong answer, because at the end of the day, it was about your work in the boardroom, not in the bedroom.
I mean, at most he can say like it was harassment if he's that sad about it. But I mean, he volunteered and he was an active, willing participant in those festivities with Miss Marie. But I don't feel sorry for this man. I was laughing at the fact that this man was crying in the car about Tamara. That's used goods, and he knows that.
Well, the thing is, I mean, he's pissed off because I don't think it's because of the fact of necessarily sleeping with her. He felt he could trust Gary because, and I don't know why, but he thought that he could trust Gary, and this is the man that had been pretty much, because they both, before Tamara came in the picture, they both was trying to take down Andy. So they were in cahoots for each other for a season or two. And for this man to come in there and I guess mess with his girl. But here's the thing. See, this is why with Hayden, as much as Tamara was sleeping with Gary, I mean, he had his infidelity things too. So, I mean, for him to be throwing shots at Tamara, it's like you like a whole hypocrite.
Well, I mean, yeah, neither one of them are. They're not. I mean, neither one is better than the other. I guess the only thing that can happen now is he can kick her out the house, and that's it. But the fact that he was crying in the car, do you think he was crying more because of Gary or more because of Tamara?
I think it was because he trusted Gary. I mean, he thought that because he know a lot of secrets on Gary, and vice versa. They had became pretty tight with each other, but they can't. Okay, so I gotta say, in season 7, they really changed the whole energy of Gary. Gary was sneaky, conniving, undermining companies and doing little sneaky stuff with the cheating and all this kind of stuff. You kind of probably saw a little bit of the previews. I mean, flashbacks of what Andy had when she went through that in her mind when she was looking at the difference between Jordan and him. They took her through different scenes from the past. But this season, they made Gary a monster. So beforehand, they would do little petty things, and they thought that they were cool. Let's stop Andy from getting that partner position. I'll help you and all this old kind of stuff. And he was going to help Hayden with the Fatima situation because Hayden wanted Fatima back from Zach, which is why Tamara was hired, because they wanted a distraction for Hayden, and Hayden definitely got distracted. So
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Exactly. But I don't feel sorry for neither one of them because they both were being messy in this whole relationship. I mean, they kind of started out where she wanted to get on the right path with Hayden. She found an attorney. They got married. And then once he found out that she used to, she was come from that life, he wanted to annul the marriage because Gary was the one that told him about it. And so that's why he felt tight with Gary, because Gary would protect him in so many words, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, why is it with these lawyers that are just not smart when it comes to Gary? How is it Gary is able to have access to both to Hayden's women and all this access when it comes to Andy? Well, he used to, let me say that. But it's just, I don't know. Both Andy and Hayden were emotional about Gary, and that's funny to me.
Well, Andy got a long history. I mean, they were the leading characters since season 1. And so, they paired those two together in a relationship. They went through a lot. Andy chose to deal with Gary when the feds came along and took him to jail in season 1 and at the end of season 1 and left her on the side of the road with nothing. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ex-wife came in and she went ballistic trying to get rid of both of them. It was always something. Then the therapist that he claimed he needed therapy and he was bedroom therapy or whatever. I mean, and she kept going back. It was a very toxic relationship. She got history with that dude because they were one of the. Yeah, they got two. That they were two of the main characters from the inception of the show. They were the only two because Sabrina had men, but they're gone. Calvin was the guy that she was talking to, but he wasn't her type because of, he was open. He was fluid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the other girls. Then Karen was dealing with Zach. She was dealing with Aaron. She had a little sneaky link to come through. And then with Danny, she had Preston and then some other dudes that she was picking up with. But Gary and Andy has pretty much been an ongoing off and on couple since the last 7 seasons. So, a lot of history there.
That's understandable. I just thought of something actually. Do you think maybe Gary could have staged that?
But for what purpose? I mean, because his thing was to keep, and this is the conversation at the house with Sabrina, Danny, and Karen. At Karen's house, when, I mean, Danny hit it right on the nail. Danny said, well, maybe he's marrying her because there's she's a witness to a case, and if you're married you can't testify. She was close, and they told her, oh, you need to stop watching TV programs, crime shows, and I think maybe, if he staged that, I mean, he probably could have staged it to lead the country. Maybe he staged it to frame them. That's possible. If Cheeto is not going anywhere,
and he's a main character on that show, like same way that we thought Penelope was unalive, and then we magically see her, I can kind of see Gary paying somebody to stage it. That's why I was hoping that maybe Miss Marie and Gary were related, maybe she might be helping him out, but I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that this can turn out in season 8.
So what about this? So they didn't expect Sabrina, Danny, and Karen to show up, right? That little henchman guy that was sitting up there with Andy the white guy. I'm wondering, did he go back there and tell Gary, look, her friend showed up, and they not leaving? And who else? Maybe somebody else identified. And Jordan was there too. So maybe he said, these people are showing up. What are we going to do? They're going to try to stop the wedding. This is too much attention, because they did it in private for a reason.
Right.
They wanted to do that.
And I think he wanted to marry her, and then unalive her, and for life insurance benefits, because he was pensioned for money too.
Yeah, he is pensioned for money. I just think that with them showing up and anybody else showing up, he freaked out and like, okay, this is getting out of hand. What can we do? And who knows? Maybe they did stage it. Oh yeah, Aisha. She said the henchman never came back. He didn't.
That is true.
Yep.
I just find it like, with all these people who's aware of Gary and that he stepped to personally and said he's not afraid of anything, and the fact that he has all these people in his pocket, the police in his pocket, he has like coroners in his pocket, the cleanup crew in his pocket. I can see him staging all of this to make it think that he's gone and kind of have Andy drop her guard down so he can kind of reset and try to come back after everybody.
That would be interesting. After everything calmed down and she thinks that she is in the clear. But she would probably get back with Jordan.
Or he could set it up to where he pins it on Jordan and then magically he pops up once Jordan's in jail. Like Tyler Perry, hire us so we can help you write the season 8. because the more I keep thinking about it, I'm like, this man, it's just too easy for someone just to take him out like that. And with a knife.
Right. I mean, who did you run into that would just be like, knife to the chest, just that quick, and you ain't nobody hear nothing tussle, no scream, no anything? Because you would think even before you bleed out, you don't just instantly, like go. The blood has to process its way out before the heart stops. So he would have been gurgling or coughing or something. Ain't nobody heard nothing.
And that room didn't look disheveled. It didn't look ransacked, nothing like that. Everything was pieced together very nicely. So it just, I don't know. The more I keep thinking about it, and I'm looking at the pictures too, I'm like, something was staged. And that's what I found interesting, especially I keep going back to the conversation that Annie and Miss Marie had. The fact that she was just willing to put herself, her money, her notoriety at risk for Andy, of all people. And all due respect, she doesn't really know Andy like that. She was dealing more with Hayden, if anything. And that's why it would be surprising. It'd be a really good twist if we find out that Miss Marie and Gary are either related or they've been working together to try to get more information and try to play Andy. Like, that would be, I would love to see that for season 8. Yeah. But if he's gone, he's gone.
You know what we didn't see? We didn't see Maurice. We saw all of the characters ending off the season, but no Maurice.
That is true.
Now, I don't think Maurice would do this, but
he's been to jail before.
Yeah, but that, Q lied on both of them. Q was the one that actually did it. But, and Q, I mean, Maurice wasn't that close with Andy to cover for her like that. He's more of Sabrina's friend. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. It's something is staged. And I think those pictures and videos that Gary did, I think he was probably like, okay, that's not really enough for Andy to leave him alone or for to really crush his career or anything like that. He think he would really want something really incriminating, because even before she got into she was in her wedding dress and she walked into the room with Gary, he was like, you're really doing this all for him? Like, what's so special about him? But I think he was going, if they write it this way for season 8, guys, I think he's going to extremes to try to go after Jordan.
Well, if he did have this stage, he said it's a lot of suspects now. Because
he get pinned on.
Right. Hayden is on his way if he's not already there. Jordan showed up. The girls showed up. Fatima and Zach are gonna be there somewhere. So there's a lot of folks that's going to be, under invested, a lot of suspects.
Tamara could also have done it too.
I mean, that is true. If she's pissed off, Tamara could have done it. We haven't seen her. I mean, we saw her arguing with Hayden. We only saw Hayden being mad and talking about he gonna pull up. But what if it was Tamara? Tamara's about to lose her attorney living girlfriend lifestyle.
Yep, exactly.
All because of Gary.
And
well, her choice.
True. Even though it was her fault too.
Mm-hmm.
But she could be mad enough to do something like that. But at the same time, you would have heard a scream, a struggle. The room would be ransacked. The fact that everything was quiet, and Andy and I think the henchman was behind her, and she was like, "Okay, let me see what's going on." I'm wondering if I'm really thinking this is staged. I think we're probably going to see Gary next season.
Yep. Well, I mean, if nothing comes out with Cheeto leaving, then he probably will be back, and it would be because I mean he's diabolical enough to do something like that.
Yeah. And it could be like a double jeopardy situation.
And you know what? Here's another point, Bree, is that if they got rid of Gary, there's no antagonist on this show.
Exactly. It's like Andy's riding off in the sunset with Jordan, and everybody's happy, and like there has to be an antagonist. And if they're really going down a dark road with him, continue going down with it and have him fake his unaliving and have it completely staged and set somebody up that wanted to go after him.
Yep.
Because he could easily set up Zach. He could easily set up Fatima. He could easily set up Jordan too.
Yeah, he could put little pieces in different places or set Andy up completely, especially since he got access to the house. He remember what the look because he got a couple of henchmen. That's just one of them. Remember the young blonde guy that put that stuff in Jordan's drink? Who's to say
he wasn't there?
That exactly he's not there either. So who's to say the way this is if he's setting this up, and making it pointed? Just say he pointed it at Andy because he wants to ruin her.
Yep.
He got access to that condo. He could come and have one of his people plant any type of clues, evidence, or whatever to make her look like she was the one that did something to him.
I think we're still right that Miss Marie has a hand in it. It's just a matter of how. And I think it would be great if she was helping Gary, if she was related to him, or he could be like giving her the D at the same time too. And it's I don't know. It creates a lot of different storylines that they can really run with this whole thing. If Tyler Perry chooses to be creative with it, but Miss Marie, I think she's going to be at the tip of our tongues next season.
Yep, I think she is somewhere. Either he set this up and they're working together, or if he is actually truly done for, which I doubt, because we don't, unless they bring on a new antagonist. But I don't see that because Cheeto has been the bad guy from day one. Miss Marie might be helping him because they do have a connection. They do.
Yeah.
She knew Gary. She knows Gary before anybody else knew she knew Gary. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And they both have Andy in common. She knows she's able to feed that information to Gary and vice versa. Like it always seems like to be the timing whenever she gets into like an interaction with Gary, Miss Marie pops up.
But here's the thing, she put in a good word with the partners and brought all her business over to that firm because of
Exactly.
Andy. So why would she want to ruin her if she wanted to elevate her?
Or, she still got a team of lawyers. It's not just Andy. She's wanting to bring her business out to that law firm, but it means that she's going to stick around on the show a little bit longer. And I think there's going to be more of a reason as to why she wants to stick so close to Andy and saying like, "Oh, we're so much alike, girl. Tell me everything. I'll handle this for you." What client does that?
Well, she just made a whole investment deal with Pam.
Oh my God, that was the most annoying part. That was the most random thing to happen. What was she doing? What was she doing there?
Yeah, I don't even. She's not even cool with Andy and Fatima. She's Karen's friend and co-worker, or she worked for Karen. So I don't even know why she was even up there at the law firm. But for whatever reason, she ran into Miss Marie, and Miss Marie says that jail had her edges slick. So she was like, "How about me? I invest." So I have a feeling that next season she probably won't be working for Karen. She's probably gonna have her own separate business.
Just and good riddance. Good riddance. Like, Karen knew better, and then she was still trying to take up for her last week and everything. Like, come on, this woman does not care for you like that. I cannot stand Pam. But oh well.
Yeah, Pam.
Aisha Jackson said it's. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Aisha Jackson said it's like Bold and Beautiful. I'm confused who the unaliver is.
Yeah, it's one of two things. Either he has been, gotten rid of, or it's a setup. He's setting all of them up, and he in the background laughing somewhere. That's all I can think. So, I gotta say, I know you gave it a C plus.
Yeah.
You know what is? Oh, I meant to. This is what I meant to cover with you right quick too. The girls not knowing what's going on with Andy and Fatima did, and for that whole conversation, I thought they were gonna get upset, but I guess they were so focused on trying to track down Andy that they didn't care or realize that Fatima had all of the information. And Fatima was like, "Well, she told me not to tell y'all." And of course, normally they would be not happy about that because they've known her since college. Whereas, she's only known Fatima since working at the firm.
Which, I think that they just had the same goal. It's like, okay, well, where is she? Like, we'll deal with all this stuff later. She knows there's going to be certain things that she'll tell them and tell Fatima. And Fatima's just built a little bit different. So Annie's able to share a whole lot of stuff with her. But plus, what were they going to do anyway? What was Karen going to do? 8 years pregnant, and what was Sabrina going to do?
Yeah, I'm just.
Annie probably could have done a little something, but not to that extent, though.
Yeah, I'm just surprised because every time Tyler would make it where they would be upset because she knew more about what was going on versus her longtime friends. So, I was like, oh, okay, and they trying to, like you say, they had a common goal, which was to track down Andy. Yep. So, all right. So I would say I give it a B. I really enjoyed everything. I think Tony is gonna be gone. My predictions for season 8. I think Tony's gonna be gone. I think Sabrina might come back pregnant with a baby bump, being pregnant by Rich. And then what else I was gonna say? I was one of I think those two are gonna get back together, Jordan and Andy. But if Gary is setting them up, they all gonna be looked at for murder, attempted murder, or whatever, So.
Mm-hmm. My prediction, I feel like with Sabrina and Rich, I think he's going to put a foot in his mouth, because as soon as she gets on the baby bandwagon and says, like, we can start doing this and doing this, I think he's going to be resistant, and I think he's going to start showing out, and that might break them up next season.
Okay.
Because he was feeling very strongly about not having kids, but when he had the conversation and put things in motion, it might make him feel differently. I feel that Hayden and Tamara are going to get back together, unfortunately, but maybe they deserve each other. I think Danny's going to get a new man. Karen's still going to be pregnant.
Oh gosh.
But I think she's going to give Aaron a chance. I'm really hoping that she does next season. And I agree with you as far as Jordan and Andy thinking that they're able to move on. They drop the guards down. But I think Gary's alive. And I think he staged his whole thing. And I think Miss Marie had a hand in that.
Okay. Well, we will see. I'm assuming usually it take about 2 months off or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe they'll be back in October. But he'll put a notice out or something, and then of course we will do this again for season 8. Because I really enjoyed this. And this episode, because it was really interesting. And as for Cheeto, I hope you're not gone. He's a good actor, even though Tyler got him acting like a monster. But
if he's
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if he's gone, go to the gate.
Oh, that would be great. Girl, what if he did show up at the gates?
Whew. It would look very, very nice on the gates, like as a very delicious looking man. Put him on the gates. If you're gonna get rid of him, put him on the gates. And plus, BET is part of CBS, Paramount Plus, that sort of thing.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Or put Tony on the gates if he leaving Danny.
Yeah, another fine-looking man. They definitely need him for that show. And some hot love scenes, too.
I know, right? But that's if we even get that. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. This is it. We had a very good season finale of Sistas Season 7. This was episode 22. I really enjoyed it, and we got to stay tuned. Also, if you are new here, we are a soap opera content platform. So not only do we do Sisters, we also do daytime soaps as well. So Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and if you hear us say The Gates is coming on CBS as of January 1st, and it is created by Val Jean, I think her name is. And it's a newly formed African American soap opera that's coming on CBS. So we will most definitely be talking about that as well. And I don't know, I'll see what else is out there. I don't think there's a lot of other soaps. I don't do General Hospital or Days or any of those. We do the CBS soaps, and then we do Sisters, and we'll see if I can add anything else to it. But I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this with you, Bree. I know we just started out at the end of the season, but that's okay. Get our feet wet and get ready for... Go ahead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, I did. So, all right, you guys, have a great night. And until then, we will see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.